Crossing a colossal rainbow, a magnificent celestial arch, and arrival to Niue seemed like a good omen. At the time, we could not imagine the disasters that would happen in just a few days. But let's start our story from the beginning. Yoo-hoo!
Niue radio, Niue radio, Niue radio. This is sailing yacht Filizi. Over.
After a delightful 3-day passage of 400 nautical miles, we arrived in Niue, a small one-island country of the South Pacific Ocean with 1,600 inhabitants, also named as The Rock.
Niue has no bay, no protective barrier reef around it, and no safe harbor. The only anchorage of the island is in Alofi, the capital. The anchorage is very exposed, more than 25 meters deep with coral bed, and there are about a dozen moorings for the visiting yacht. As there is no dinghy dock, the only way to protect the dinghy from the ocean swell is by lifting it with a crane on the concrete wharf. An adventure by itself.
How do you say hello?
Fakalofa lahiatu.
Fakalofa?
Lahiatu.
Lahiatu?
Yeah.
Fakalofa lahiatu.
Did it.
The clearance procedure goes on. Filizi is swinging softly with the ocean swell, surrounded by yachts we know, like Arca with the Italian crew that we met in Palmerston, and yachts we don't know, like the Danish Gwendoline, the crew of which we'll meet soon under tragic circumstances. Hello, Captain.
Hello.
Welcome to Niue.
Welcome to Niue, darling.
Later we learned sad news about the catamaran Key, the crew of which we met in Palmerston on the eve of their departure for Niue. As they were approaching Niue 2 days ago, they struck the east reef of the island. The couple was badly injured by the sharp corals as they tried to go ashore. Their rescue was very difficult. The catamaran Key was destroyed. We feel deeply for them. Their dream was shattered. Their boat is gone. This could happen to any of us.
On our second day in Niue, another accident happens. The mooring of the Italian yacht Arca is cut and there is no crew on board. The swell is pushing the boat to the reef. A brave woman manages to climb on board, but she can't start the engine. A few seconds before disaster, a fishing boat arrives and tows the boat to safety. That was really close. Monday, August 5 looks like a good weather window for the 2-day passage to Tonga. 5 yachts cleared from Niue that morning. Filizi is one of them. We are sailing with a fresh breeze of 20-25 knots of wind. Spirits are high. On the way, we encounter several humpback whales. Breathtaking sight. A few hours later, we overtake the catamaran Inspire from New Zealand. Soon, the wind picks up and the waves grow bigger.
A terrible, a haunting sound comes from the VHF. It's a distress signal, and the coordinates indicate that the boat in distress is 10 nautical miles away. A few minutes later, a man's voice is heard on the VHF. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is the captain of Gwendoline M. We are sinking. Yorgos picks up the transmitter. This is sailboat Filizi. We are 10 miles away. Hold on, we're coming. How many are you on board? The man replies, Thank you. We are 2, me and my wife, but I can't talk anymore. The boat is filling with water and I have to go into the life raft.
The silence on the VHF is deafening. The crew of Inspire, a few miles back, monitors the VHF and contacts immediately the New Zealand Search and Rescue Center. The crew of Kata, further back, notifying Niue of the situation. We unfurl the sails completely to reach maximum speed, and Filizi accelerates to 7-8 knots. We must reach the life raft as soon as possible. Every minute counts. We mark the coordinates of the sinking ship on the map and try to estimate the drifting of the life raft with the wind and the current. We don't want to lose them in the dark night.
About 45 minutes later, the bright light of a red distress flare in the sky ahead fills us all with joy. We are on the right track. A few minutes later, a faint voice is heard on the VHF. This is the life raft of Gwendoline M. Do you copy? Coordinates are 18 degrees 57 south, 170 degrees 43 west.
We sail searching the dark sea with eyes wide open until we see a blinking light between the waves. It's them. We position Filizi beside the life raft on a standstill. They throw us a line and we pull them to the stern, fighting against the waves and the wind.
The conditions are very difficult, but after a few tries, Yorgos manages to lift the woman and Filizi, breaking one of his ribs on the effort. After that, the man jumps on board too. They are safe. We all hug. Kim and Line from Denmark, owners of Gwendoline M, are happy to be safe again. Kim tells us how their beautiful 50-foot steel boat struck an unknown object in the sea. The tons of water flowing in from her broken rudder, his agonizing efforts to save her, and how they abandoned ship and got into the life raft. Tonight is the hardest and longest night on Filizi since the beginning of our journey. Yorgos is in agony, in pain from his broken rib. Lina and Kim are laying sleepless, still in shock from their sinking boat. At sunrise, Yorgos comes to the cockpit. He feels no pain as long as he doesn't move. I'm so relieved. A few hours later, we call the crew of Inspire on the VHF, and Kim speaks with Abby.
Filizi now and down to Tonga, and yeah, that you guys are both safe. Over. We will happily to help you guys.
Well, I think you cannot imagine unless you have tried it how scary it is to crawl into a life raft at night in those big waves and see your boat is sinking, or you know that it will be sinking. It was more than half full of water, and this took maybe just 1 hour to get so much water inside the boat, and we could not pump it out. So the scare of having to go into the life raft at night in those big seas was really bad, but knowing that you guys were close by and Filizi were close by and you were working together and coming and saving us, that was a huge comfort that I simply cannot express in English because English is not my mother tongue. So I'll say it in Danish. Det er helt fantastisk. Tusind tak. Vi vil aldrig nogensinde glemme jer. Over.
Yeah, you guys are very, very brave people to be out there and hopping into a life under no seas.
In the beginning, when I did the Mayday call, we thought we were all alone, and I said to Lena, my wife, I said, we'll probably have to be in the life raft for 2 or 3 days before somebody finds us. And then we realized how big a machinery we actually started. That's amazing. That makes you a bit humble.
Next, the captain of Kata calls us on the VHF.
When it was actually sunken, we passed it like by half a mile, and it was a pretty good echo on the radar, but there was no AIS and no light. From me that lykke til. I'm Norwegian, he will understand it, and we'll see you all in Tonga. Over.
24 hours later, we cross the international date line, and as we are heading westwards, we erased 1 full day from our calendar.
A few hours later, we arrived in Babao Island in Tonga, escorted by several humpback whales. They're always an overwhelming sight.
Blue waves down here.
We arrive at the port of Niue where we do the clearance procedures. After that, we move on to explore this friendly island with a strange dress code.
Later, all of us, all the crews of the boats involved in the rescue, we meet up at Mango Cafe. It's a happy moment for everyone, an intense, powerful moment.
This is a good ending of a life-threatening situation. The Gwendoline crew is safe. As for the rest of us sailors, it reminds us how important it is to follow safety procedures and have all the necessary equipment, a PIRB, VHF with GPS, life raft, etc., a ready-to-go grab bag, and be prepared for the worst. Most important, we must all know how to use our equipment. Sail safe, everyone.